Oh man, I hate that I'm saying this. I hate that I'm even thinking about doing this and having this conversation about this player. But I'm just gonna go out there and say it. I agree with this tweet by Josh Elliott Wolf. It's a hot take. Elias Pettersson has been better than Quinn Hughes so far this season. We're all just very hyper-focused on one guy, so any mistakes are magnified. Yeah, I said it. You didn't think I could say it? I said it. Do I believe it? Honestly, I saw this and I was like, that's a really hot take there, Josh Elliott Wolf. Really, really hot take, but after thinking about it just a little bit more and reading some other tweets that I happen to agree with, I was like, you know what? I kind of get it. I get it. And I hate that I'm even acknowledging the idea that Quinn Hughes is capable of being criticized as the member of the Vancouver Canucks that he is. I say the member, not a member, because he is the straw that stirs the drink. He is the oil in the machine. He is the cog that spins the wheel. He is the life force of the Vancouver Canucks. At least, that's what he should be. Now, the Vancouver Canucks have gotten off to a pretty interesting set of games so far. Game 1 against the Calgary Flames, they played one good period of hockey that was good enough to win 5-1. I'm not going to say that they played amazing in the first two periods in Game 1 versus Calgary, but they got the win and they won 5-1, so it's difficult to criticize that. Games 2 and 3 against Edmonton and St. Louis, not good. The team didn't look solid at all. They didn't look cohesive. The best players were the goaltenders and Kiefer Sherwood. I mean, Quinn Hughes, he can get a point, yeah, but that's not all that needs to happen for Vancouver to be looking like a good team in games like this. Games 4 and 5, interesting. Against Dallas and Chicago, Quinn starts to get more points. I mean, he's on a 3-game point streak right now with 4 points in that span. But these two games against Dallas and Chicago, the Canucks play pretty bad first periods and they go down 2-0. Not ideal, but they came back and they won. That's great. And then the game yesterday against Washington, it's kind of the opposite. They had a great start, they were up 4-0, but they only won 4-3. So Vancouver almost choked this one away, and if not by the heroicism of Elias Pettersson, we might not have even seen a dub in that game. But Quinn Hughes, so far throughout the course of the 25-26 season, I'm going to go out there and say it, he hasn't played his best. He hasn't been vintage Quinn Hughes so far, and that's not to say he's been bad. He is still the most utilized defenseman for Vancouver, and rightfully so. 30 minutes in the Chicago game, 25-plus minutes in every single other game. Literally, he is one of the most utilized, versatile, relied-upon players in the league, and for good reason. He's showing off why he is doing that. But I can't in my heart of hearts say that we've seen vintage Quinn Hughes just yet. Here's a post made by MDNux0 on Twitter yesterday. As the biggest Quinn Hughes fan in the world, I can admit he has not played well this year. At least up to the standards we have expected of him. He's poor defensively, he's trying to do way too much offensively, he looks rusty. He said he didn't grind his body this summer. Maybe that's why. And there are some responses here. 5 points in 6 games, had a monster game last night. He played over 30 minutes and dominated in OT. He had a couple of average games, but I think he's on the rise now. Forwards are starting to put the puck in the net, which also makes his game easier. Another reply says that he's awful in his own zone. He's not driving the play, yet the Canucks are 4-2. He's played well, he's just not playing at the MVP level he was at like last year. Lots of good players across the league are having slow starts. It happens. Another reply says I'd have to agree. His defense has been horrible. He's trying to do way too much. He always gets his points. Then you have Ann over here saying, yeah, I totally agree. Something is off. I always say he's overcompensating for where they're lacking, and he tends to make more mistakes because of it. We've seen him play better, so that's what we'd expect, so it's not like we're expecting anything out of reach. Another Twitter thread by Brian C. goes out there and says, hey, Quinn Hughes refusing to set up one-timers for Elias Pettersson is starting to remind me of Edler and Besser, lol. And that is so funny. I think the Edler-Besser saga of 2017-2018 is such an interesting, very small slice of the puzzle in Vancouver Canucks lore that I ultimately don't even know if folks watching this video even remember that. When Besser was a rookie, Edler would not pass to him on the power play, and it pissed all of us off because we're like, hey, the guy can get goals. If he's not getting any more goals, he's not going to beat Barzal for the Calder, and Edler is preventing that. But now Quinn, potentially guilty of the same stuff with Elias Pettersson. Here's what Sean Bowie replied. I can't remember which game it was, but in one of the games recently, I remember an instance on the power play where Petey was wide open in his one-timer office, and Hughes just tried to shoot it through like 5 guys instead. It happens every game. He looks off open passing options to instead skate down the left wall and throw the puck into traffic. His decision-making has been suspect this year. I honestly don't think I've ever been critical of Hughes about anything, but something does seem off so far this year. I was super critical early on in his career because of the same things we are seeing now. Struggling to keep the zone, not making accurate passes, just trying to do too much himself. I'm not worried, but it makes you go, just a little bit. Then there are some other replies over here to Chester Mang. He replied to Josh Elliott Wolf saying, yeah, Hughes is defending like he's hurt this year. There's something going on there. You know, just because somebody isn't playing up to par doesn't mean they're always hurt. I've heard whispers, though, so put as much stock into that as much as you want, but you can see where these commenters are coming from. Quinn Hughes might not be playing the best hockey he's been playing in his career up to this point throughout the season so far, and you could honestly say that Elias Pettersson, based off of the way he's been playing, I'd say that Petey has looked pretty good for the most part. Has he been as effective as a 100-point, $11.6 million center should be? Maybe not to that standard, but he's been looking better and better every game. Quinn Hughes, on the other hand, we are still waiting for us to see what makes Quinn Hughes Quinn Hughes. For EP40, at the very least, there have been flashes and moments where, hey, that old Pettersson is back. Like the dangle in overtime against Chicago, or the dangle yesterday against Washington, where he tried to roof it on the backhand. We are slowly seeing the classic EP coming back. Quinn Hughes, though, might be a little bit guilty of not showing off the best of him, so far at least. Josh Elliott Wolf says, yeah, this is not a major concern, because he's Quinn Hughes and he'll figure it out. This is why a proven track record is so important. Quinn Hughes has been all that in previous years, and we expect that out of him. So now that it's like, all right, well, he's having a little bit of a difficult start to the year. Sure, he's producing points, but he's not looking as dangerous or as dynamic or as pristine as he has in previous years. Even though he doesn't look like that right now, it's fine because it's Quinn Hughes and we know he'll bounce back. It's like McDavid, Draisaitl, and Evan Bouchard. It's not like EP40, because Pettersson had one amazing superstar caliber year, 1.5 years really, and then he fell off after that. So for Pettersson, you can say the Canucks fan base is slowly starting to get back to what he is capable of. For Quinn, it's almost like he's taken a little bit of a step back, but we believe him to step forward. It's a really interesting dynamic here, and I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Elias Pettersson and Quinn Hughes, whether or not Quinn is going through a little bit of a rough patch in terms of his on-ice play, and whether or not you've noticed it as well. Is it even worth talking about it at this point? You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the like button. If you didn't, the dislike button is down there for you as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.